the Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there'll be a following week for cytology testing. We also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Thursday afternoon to you, everyone. Welcome once again to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside our technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph, and my co-host, Well, I think he's going to become a regular on Thursdays, But he's here with me again, Terry Fendelon. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Welcome to the program once again. You always light it up. Yes, upon the.
I try.
Let me tell you about light it up.
Yeah.
Lighting something up is limine, right?
Yeah.
And enlightening is éclairé.
That's right.
Okay. So you know what does limine?
Éclairé. Eliminate. Well, to be, yes.
I'll tell you what. Let the sing. Jacqueline, don't tell me you don't have the thing lined up already. Do not tell me that means that was. People, you all see me in blue.
That's right.
But it's not just in blue. You all see me in blue before, but it's not just blue on top. It's
right.
blue everywhere. To honor the fact that it is the observation of one of our 2 flower festivals, the Feast of La Marguerite, which is today the 17th of October. And so to all of you who are part of the La Marguerite Society, I want to wish you the very best. To the students I know who every year take part in it and so on, and the teachers who lead them, and the musicians, and all of that, and to the airtime people, the DJs and the entertainers who take time to observe our culture. Many times we're happy to talk about American Thanksgiving and to this and that, but this is St. Lucia stuff. So let's play one of 2 songs that we're gonna just to mark the occasion of Fête La Marguerite. And folks, it's not just me wearing the blue, but I was leaving home and I decided, I'm not driving. Let me take a walk to MBC. And I said, okay, I must be careful, with the sun and the dehydration. So I said, let me grab a cap. And look at my favorite cap for 2024. It was given to me a few months ago as a gift by my son and his wife, my daughter-in-law. They came home to visit, spend a night, a couple of days with me. And then they had this gift wrap for me. And when I opened, it was this grandpa, that was their way of announcing to me that they were expecting. And then some time ago, we had the baby shower and reveal, where they gender reveal, where they revealed that it was going to be a little boy who was born on Sunday of this week. So I've become a grandfather. You would have been at my age that I would have been at the no. My boys have taken their time. But one of them has become a father, made me a grandfather. Very, very pretty, nice looking little boy. I said, okay, Fête La Marguerite, the sun, the blue, perfect, I got it on like that, I am a grandfather, and am I happy? I gotta tell you that,
Well, I can let you outshine me. It's my first grandchild, a granddaughter. Yeah. It's her birthday today.
Oh, really? Okay. Great stuff. A
Yes, man.
A La Marguerite baby.
Yeah, La Marguerite baby, So this morning, made sure what her breakfast and stuff and professor. Stuff, yeah. So,
and by all indications, based upon what another of my sons told me, he's going to become a daddy later this year. So I'm going to be, while having to take my time, because they took their time, it looks like I'm going to be a grandfather twice,
Well, I'm beating you to it. I'm a grandfather 3 times.
3 times already.
Yes, one granddaughter, 2 grandsons.
Okay, well, a sister of mine, seeing my joy, wanting to, jokingly and good-naturedly, rain on my parade, say, I'm sorry, sir, but I have to tell you that I beat you 3-1. She's got 3 grandchildren already. The only thing I could find to type back to her on the WhatsApp was to tell her, mine is more handsome than all 3 of yours put together. We had a good laugh about that. So, even when she tried to tell me that she's already led me 3-1, I told her, Billy Lee, mine is nicer than all of yours put together and so on. So,
Right, man.
Great stuff.
My
yes.
grandson is, I think, is a policeman today.
Oh my goodness me.
So, you know, he's going to arrest people, you know.
I'll have to investigate you. I think you started way too young, below the legal limit, even for a man and so on. Your grandson was a policeman already. I know you have a few years more than me, but this is way too early.
Getting involved in the cultural thing, man.
Yeah.
You have to inculcate that very early, man. So let them
Congrats.
enjoy that, yeah.
Congrats, yes. Do we have the other song? I think the other song is I was me no.
No, but that's La Margaret, eh?
No, that's La Margaret. That's La Margaret. Go ahead, telling La was me no. So me wadlo.
Once I was during La Rose Festival. We were at a little birthday shingding, and they had me as DJ. I'm playing DJ, and one of the invited guest said, "No, man, it's Laro's time. We want Laro songs." Now I have a few Laro songs, but
so you're going to play that?
no, but sometimes you don't know the difference, you know, because so I was playing a little Laro's, and in between I drop a Margaret. Man, boy, I had to run for cover, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, I was playing music for Laos people at one time at the cultural center, and because the song says "I Laos," I figured that's a Laos song. My goodness, you should have seen the Margaret
Every people
they almost stopped.
almost violent.
Boy, I tell you, the fellas were vexed until I realized,
man, this is serious business, you know.
He's telling Laos shit. Yeah, let's say that.
All right.
I was minu, mi wadlo. I was minu, la de cosa na valise. I was minu, mi wadlo. I was minu, la de cosa na valise. Tu aye kono aye, tu medio kono medio, tu piti kono piti, la was kama de liberté. I was minu. I was minu, mi wadlo. I was minu, la de cosa na zacasia.
All right, thank you very much, Jaquan, for that. You know.
Oh yeah.
And
very
folks,
entertaining.
this is looking like a lovely day. Make it even lovelier with cultural consciousness, wholesome celebration. This is the kind of joy that we like to have, and like I said, you know, a little bit of consciousness, you know, nice music that you can shake a leg to, but at the same time it keeps the consciousness of the history, you know, of the narrative, of the storytelling, you know, that is encapsulated in that kind of music. Sad news coming through about, my goodness, a young teenage girl. Usually is the men you hear, you know, getting in those things, but teenage girl fatally shot. And, you know, it really is sad. I don't know. I have no answers. I have no solutions. But I keep on saying what I've been saying all along. Only a whole of society approach, and all of us approach against crime, will make successful the fight to reduce it, to minimize it, and hopefully to eliminate it. I will say again, we have to combat crime, antisocial behavior in all its manifestations, at its most nascent stages and so on. When it is just springing up and so on, we have to go against it. When we see it in the schools, when we see the fights, when we see, let us stop encouraging that. And those of us who are grown-ups, who are adults, who are parents, let us stop thinking that we love our children more than other people love theirs. And it's not only children, you know, people do that. There are people who think they love their dogs more than you love yourself. So their dog is leaving their yard, coming in the road after you, and you know, they only make a token little, Lassie, come back here. You know, you don't see that vigorous, determined attempt to call off the dog or to restrain it. Why? Because they're afraid that if they call off their dog, the dog might become, you know, traumatized. The dog might become reprogrammed. It will not perform its protective functions. So your dog can come and bite my leg. You don't want to be too harsh with it. But you know, you love your dog, I don't love myself. If I take a stone and I lash it, right away you're threatening to shoot me, and maybe might even shoot me and so on, because you love your dog. Same way people do it. If people do that with their dogs, you can imagine with their children. They love their children so much, that there's a fight in the school, rather than try to go and put peace and milieu, as we say, their thing is to try to go and encourage their child to hit him back, and they're standing by for if the fight turns against their child, for them to come and to intervene, and they always know who's right and who's wrong and this and that and the other and so on. Parents, begin to take up your responsibilities with a greater degree of seriousness and a sense of duty. You have a big part to play, because these are the things that spill over and that escalate, and then they become the gun and the knife and the stabbing. Terry Fenilo, like I say, whenever you're here, it's pretty much your show, and it's yours to go.
Yes, well, thank you, Shelton. Thank you, listeners, viewers. Welcome. It's always a pleasure. I want to thank those who meet me sometimes, even in my gym, where my gym is, and encourage me. That's fine. I'm happy. We're doing what it is, the country's work. Being upright citizens, conscientious. We want to make sure that our country stays on the right path, because we are on the right path. Yes, there are little issues here and there, the health situation. We'll discuss that at some point. But by and large, we are on the right track. And I always like to show my banner. Shakwan, this is what I want to leave with you always. Remember, we know where we came from. We know what we had. We know what we have now. We have made the comparison, no comparison. We are contrasting, and what we have now is so much better than what we had. And we are not under any circumstance going back. I heard a famous bodybuilder asking people to get angry. And yes, I will give you reasons why we ought to get angry. I'm going to ask questions as to why we're going to get angry. I think in Isaiah 5, the Bible talks about woe unto the nation that calls evil good and good evil.
Yes.
Sometimes I sit back and I'm like amazed as to, what people are trying to defend. All the goodness, all the good things that are happening, people are trying to say nothing is happening. This is all bad and we must go back. But here we have two prime ministers, the tale of two prime ministers. We are comparing. And as one person told me recently, where I negotiate, he has never seen so much done in 3 years by any prime minister. Now, some people might want to debate that, but the facts speak for themselves. That is why our prime minister, you could see him there very relaxed, nothing worrying him, except he says climate change and what may happen as a result of a hurricane, etc., doing great destruction to our country. But he's relaxed because he knows that he is doing the right things. He's not paying attention. He's listening, Don't get me wrong, because a lady in a testimonial says he doesn't listen. She meant that he doesn't listen to the negativity and the noise coming from the opposition, because it's just noise. And I'm going to prove to you it's just noise. They are panicking. They are in panic mode for the simple reason, Shelton, that they are seeing the works. By your works, you're just not faith alone, our prime minister is a man of faith, but he knows faith without works is dead.
Yes.
So, he cannot just come and tell you what I want to do, because people are not judged by what they say. People are judged by what they do.
Right.
And his actions and his policies and his programs are speaking for themselves.
As opposed to just plans
pie
in the sky,
renderings
and drawings.
My prime minister is not a man of renderings, He's a man of action. He wants to make sure that when he speaks, he's speaking from a position where he knows he can deliver. And so he can be relaxed, knowing that, hey, I have said that I'm going to do this, and this is being done. All right? So when people have nothing to do, nothing to say, they are cornered. Like when people are cornered, when you corner an animal, just...
Exactly.
I have no policies.
That's right.
So they are cornered, they are worried, because I even heard a man who doesn't go to church, a man who doesn't even know can't even say the Lord's Prayer, He wants to defend the Catholic Church because he figures a building going up next to them to bring justice to the people is affecting the Catholic Church. I mean, I got somebody here. I mean, I've never heard most foolishity than that.
Yeah, it's incitement. It's
Incitement.
to incite.
You don't go to church.
Yes.
We know that. You can't even say the Lord's Prayer. And somebody yesterday was saying he doesn't know the national anthem. I believe that,
Okay.
This man cannot sing the national anthem. When the reporters go, they must put him on the spot. You want to lead the country, you don't know the national anthem, and you can't even recite the pledge. But you don't even go to church. You don't know the Lord's Prayer. You don't even know how to pray. But you are going to take it from us. So you want to defend the Catholic Church because they're building a halls of justice, and the halls of justice will be affecting. How? You see, that's desperation. That is when you have reached rock bottom.
The halls of justice. Will be obstructing the view.
That's right.
As if the buildings before there were you could see through them,
No, but it's not just that too. It's obstructing his view because he cannot see a path to power again. He cannot see a way to get back.
Okay.
To rule.
So you mean his view of the parliament building?
That's right. So that is blocked. So the justice building there, the halls of justice, that's obstructing his view. That's preventing him from ever regaining power. So what is he doing now? He's trying all manner of trickery, all manner of foolishity to try to get us off track. So he's going to defend the Catholic Church because he doesn't want the halls of justice to be built.
A defense that the Catholic Church has neither asked for nor does it need.
I think I heard briefly, sometimes you're home and you're flicking for channels, and I heard him on a station saying about he was going to build 5 buildings for the halls of justice. I say, I really buy it. Where? How? Who would have financed that? He was just a demolition man, destroying things.
That's right.
And putting the rental in his in businesses that he had interest in.
You too should take I
was going to do. I could have do.
Yeah, we had
plans to do that.
We had plans to do that. Our plans were advanced. Yeah.
On the minimum wage, what did he say? I was actively working on the minimum. He had no committee in place.
Everything.
Nothing in place. Yeah. But now it is implemented. He was go. What do you think a UWB minimum wage? As though that's how it is done. I mean, come on, man.
He was going to implement and this shows that in the build-up to the elections, you had a framework of consultation in place or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, this is, but we're holding that. Get angry. Our famous bodybuilder.
That's right.
A man I had a lot of respect for, I must tell you. I really expected him to have gotten angry when the Derek Walcott house, the project. Now, I meant to take a picture, but ladies and gentlemen, trust me, there's a lot of work going on the Chaussee Road there. It is not even possible to park. There's a lot of work because they'll put in, Wasco and Lucy Lake, etc. So that road is going to be a little mess for a while. So I couldn't stop to take pictures of the Derek Walcott house. And I was talking to the guy responsible, Goody, if you're listening to me, good afternoon, Goody. Because these guys took ownership of that, But, they try to stigmatize the stuff, where it is located, people will not go there. A lot of ballooning, you know what I mean? Malaki. But I needed to take some pictures. Maybe when I come back next week, I'll take some pictures. I really expected our bodybuilder to be mad and angry at that because he's a Derek Walcott man. Give him his props.
Well, so he said. But one of the things that seemed to have been most striking to the bodybuilder was when they unveiled the plans and the designs for the house and they, showed him the concept and what was being done and what had been built, that he burst into tears.
Yes, I remember that. He was so moved.
And that thing seemed to have touched the bodybuilder and rubbed him the wrong way because what you're doing at the time, given the bodybuilders, it seemed all-consuming animus against the then Prime Minister Kenny Anthony. Was that, hey, Derek, what are you doing? You're making Kenny Anthony look so great that he's moving you to tears and this kind of thing. So there is a possibility that unknown to us, being kept well hidden from us, there may have been an annoyance against Derek Walcott before he died, for making Kenny Anthony look too good. I'm telling you, I'm not saying it as something I know for a fact.
But yes, you're connecting the dots.
The focus upon it, that seems to be a theme, that anytime people cry, they're being hypocritical and it's crocodile tears. I remember something being resurrected about Kenny Anthony weeping at the funeral of Kenneth David John, which was a tragedy of unimaginable, depth and hurt and so on. That Kenny Anthony, seeing the young man that he essentially, brought in and roped in and won an election under his leadership, his first time at the polls, in that 16-1 being part of it, and within a year you're losing the man.
Tragically.
You know, and then you
in the manner in which he lost
you know,
his
and after terrorism, you know.
Going to save somebody.
people and this kind of thing, and losing his life.
I mean, this
and this man put something in the paper like it was, you know, Dame Pullett was looking at Kenny Anthony weeping and maybe wondering what, you know, speaking for Dame Pullett, what's in her mind.
Right.
Is that at any time somebody weeps and they cry, it's never genuine, you know, for you know, I don't know.
So I'm wondering if Derek was alive today, what would he have said? I'm Shelton, because as you rightly said, I saw him there and he read something there and the tears because he always said he preferred to be honored by his country,
you know,
because we gave him
the man is looking to see his childhood home coming back to life before his eyes,
right?
You know, before he dies, to see the place that he was brought up and so on. And I mean, this was really a piece of work, you know. That's right. The reconstruction of all the details of the man's home. Whoever was behind that really studied all
the building that was next to it, which compromised it, has been demolished.
You know.
So you know it is right for things. And I thought
and when we talk about that area, Grass Street and so on, what that place has been associated with. Do people understand what it is like when you are able to bring that place elevated to a level of glory that has the name of a Nobel Prize winner and everything else associated?
And I can tell you, Shelton, the guys there, Goody, well, I call him Goody. His name, his full, I know his name, but and all the guys there, they took pride in maintaining that. And so I expected the bodybuilder to get angry because Derek Walcott, a man of that kind of stature, your boy, you didn't get angry for that, but you want to get angry with Philip Pierre for delivering for the people, just because you know who the target is? Ernest Hilaire.
Yes.
So everything is about Ernest, you know. They need him, they want him, you know, so you're carrying out your master's vendetta. So you're pushing that kind of line. Ernest calling the man corrupt and everything, nothing against the man, you know. Rejoc and Martinez said the nonsense, and right away that is proof, that is evidence that the man is corrupt. You have nothing on the man, you understand? So I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, we need to get angry, yes. And listen, what I want to list, I want to list a few other things in a while. And then I am turning on the television. What was it? Yeah, was it television or where was I think in my radio, because I think I was doing some reading at the time. So the radio is on, I'm reading too. I try to multitask, and I'm hearing the news on HTS. You think we should play that? Where this guy, the deputy prime minister, deputy opposition leader, spewing
about the prime minister.
About the prime minister.
Calling the prime minister retired. I played it.
You played it yesterday?
I think I played it yesterday. So
I'm not going to play it.
It will be overkill.
Overkill.
Yeah.
But
if I didn't play it, I referenced it.
You reference, yeah.
Because sometimes when you do those things,
you give these people traction.
Yes.
And then you want to call the not just, first of all, you call him nasty sometime ago.
Yes.
Then you call him retarded, and then you call him wicked.
Yes.
It's like wicked?
It's like this gentleman has set in his mind, and I'm calling him a gentleman, you know.
Yeah.
I'm being nice.
Right.
You know, calling the prime minister those kind of abusive epithets, and for some reason believing that the only way that he can score some points is to devalue and denigrate the prime minister. But okay, you want to devalue and denigrate him, debate him.
Yes.
Point out where he's making.
That's right.
He's always abusive epithets about he's nasty and he's a retard and this.
And you know what struck me later?
You know, and I am saying this. I don't know how you can want to poison people's minds about the prime minister, and it is only through abuse that speaks not well about your own decorum as a public figure. You know. A former minister, former parliamentarian for 15 years. If that is all you come away with after 15 years, you know, that you have absolutely no decorum in your public persona, that you can only be abusive in terms of trying to, you know, you might say deconstruct somebody from you believe they have too much ratings and so on, then quite honestly, I don't know why people should have any time for it.
And then he's going to declare in the same breath, I'm a Christian and I'm a student of the Bible.
And listen to that. Listen to the presumption which I am going out on a limb to say this is blasphemy. For you to come and say God could never put such a person in office. God could never have chosen a wicked man like Philip J. Pierre. You want to talk about wicked and so on? The Bible says that God causes governments to rise and governments to fall. God is the one who brings up and topples rulers and so on. He comes with a point about the Israelites.
Right, and
they insisted they wanted a king. Why did God of all people choose Saul to be their king? Look at how in the end the same Bible tells you that Saul died for his iniquity. A Saul who ordered the mass slaying of priest of his own state religion, the Jew religion. And he didn't say, to Doeg the Edomite, kill the priest, kill the priest of the Lord. He knew what he was doing. Are you telling me God didn't know how Saul would have turned out? God couldn't see in the future that Saul took God by surprise. So I'm saying for a man who is in the pulpit, who studies, he says he's a student of the Bible, to be uttering this kind of outright blasphemies like God made a mistake and God doesn't know what he's doing and God would never have put. So Philip J. Pierre is installed by the devil. It's not God who causes governments and prime ministers. Right. I listened to that thing and I said, when people listen to people talking this is more than foolishness. This is dangerous kind of stuff you're trying to implant in the minds of people. Guy Joseph is trying what I call a hatred stunt. He's trying to see if he can cause people to hate Philip J. Pierre, And anytime we are trafficking in the currency of anger and hatred, we never know what can turn around and bite us in our own backside.
That is correct. You see, I think the strategy worked where they try to get people to hate Kenny, Dr. Anthony.
And to an extent, I think it worked. Yes.
Because, these guys were on his case like But for some reason, you can't touch Philip J. Pierre. This man, you cannot hate him because people are seeing his good works. You understand?
Yeah.
Then
a man's son dies suddenly of a heart attack. The man is a brother in the same church as you are. Even if you're not worshiping in the same congregation, but in the brotherhood of whatever, you're going around and making people believe that is some kind of evil deed and occult stuff that the man was doing, that his son died. I mean, how much more ingracious than that can you get? You're some kind of prophet, and now you come in and talk about God could not possibly.
Because God is with you.
You know what I mean?
With you. And then we have the PRO of the party talking about taking things by force and forcing these fellas out. They cannot remit. And then I remember, but what is he going to do? We're going to have a repeat of Lopo?
Yeah.
How are you going to accomplish that? You want people to rise up and revolt and kill and say, because you want to take over the government by force. A Lapo man like you.
The language is just too inflammatory. It's just too inflammatory, especially given what the country is going through at present. This is inflammatory language.
It's and it coming from I've been telling people this UWP is not the UWP. That's not Sir John's party, one. It is a party, I think, which has been bought by an individual. So he owns it. Because if you listen, and I think that he's running the party like a business. I have to say that. Because when you think of how candidate selection is made, loyalty to the leader.
What it was said. I expect you to submit.
That's right.
I expect you to submit to me.
He's the CEO of the party. He's running the party like it's business. The party belongs to him.
Yes.
It is not a party of rules or convention. There's no constitution. Because this guy does not believe in any constitution.
Yes.
He doesn't respect anything. Or once there's a semblance of law and order, he doesn't respect it. So, candidate selection tells you, it's so undemocratic. You understand? And that is what you're coming with. You understand? Total submission. But I want to tell them, I want to challenge those people who want to say, get angry. You understand? Let's revolt. Let's do a loop on the Prime Minister because we have to take it by force. You understand? So we're going to send somebody to umbre him, put him in a jeep or something, bring him somewhere, And we have an example of that happening already. All right, so it's not far-fetched. So Prime Minister, beef up your security. Maybe we might have to ask for security too. Beef up your security because these fellas want to take things by force, and we know when these fellas are desperate, they don't see a way because the leader of the opposition has said that the view of the halls of justice is blocking his way to the seat of power. So we have to be careful because these guys are dangerous. When you hear the things that are happening and the contracts that will be unleashed on us, I could understand why they are in that state of it's like a frenzy. They cannot counteract the policies of the Philip JP administration. They have no policies of their own because they cannot tell you what it is that Philip JP and the administration, what they are doing or not doing, that if they get the power, they'll be doing. What it is that you're going to be doing in education that Philip JP and his administration, they are not doing. What it is. What's in foreign policy? Well, we know their foreign policy is to ditch CARICOM and try to join the Limber Group, whatever that is, if that is still in existence.
If it's still in existence.
If it's still.
And hope that Donald Trump wins the election so that they can
go to Donald Trump and Mar-a-Lago, sit down there like Moose boys until Donald Trump is ready for the I think we're due for a break.
Yes.
Bishop One, we're due for a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall be back. We'll take that break.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there will be a following week for the cytology testing. We also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's ginger turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to and staying with The Real Issues here on Real FM Radio 91.3 and 91.5, North and South, respectively. Whatever zone you're following us, we really appreciate it. Simulcasting also on NBC Television, Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live, and we're also live streaming on YouTube. I'm Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, the regular one that is. But we have our co-host joining us today again. Terry Fenelon is in the studio. Let me just say that two things. We may be getting a call from the Minister of Health to respond to something that's been put out there, some allegations. Well, what day do we ever not have those allegations anyway? Right. But the Minister of Health, the government has put a lot of effort, resources, and so on into improving the quality of healthcare in this country, the return of St. Jude Hospital to its original site, the removal, transfer of patients, from the what was supposed to be temporary but has moved into a decade and a half, from the stadium, which is itself deteriorating in a dilapidated state, back to St. Jude. I mean, they have done so much that they can't just have people going about saying any and everything based on whatever their flight of fancy or their agenda at the moment is. So we may be hearing from the Health Minister, reminding you also that tonight, 8:30 on NBC Television, Real FM as well, and on Facebook Live, they have their own page. You will be hearing Can I Help You? And he called yesterday to remind us and to urge you to tune in tonight at 8:30 for Can I Help You with Honorable Richard Frederick. And I'm sure he will delve deeper into all those kind of denigrations that are being hurled at our Honorable Prime Minister and other matters that only Honorable Richard Frederick, in his inimitable style, accompanied by Albert Fragis, will be Can I Help You tonight, and I'm sure they will be able to help you. Okay, back to Terry Fenelon.
Yes, as I was saying, Shelton, these guys are cornered. There's a party that is, well, when I used to go on the Marshall Field, let me tell you that Marshall, I knew it as Victoria Park 2 at the time, in Philip Park. As we did not have all these devices. Sometimes you have your ball, so you go with your ball and you want to take a sweat. And when you reach on the Marshall Field, there are other fellas there. So you just you just pick a side. You play for me.
That's
right. I pick you.
That's right. That's right.
You don't know the fella's abilities. Fellas lap more than anything because I'm not any top footballer. Exactly. But I'm at Marshall. I can play.
And sometimes they go way past the 11.
Yeah. That's what the United Workers' Party reminds me of. A side.
Yes.
They just pick a side. You play for me. You go play back.
Yes.
You play forward. Those of you remember those days. I mean, if you have boy days, you just go on the field, and that's how we play. You just taking a sweat. So you just pick a side. You know what I mean? Just Anybody, you just fling, you guys are come there, whether you could play or not. You just play there. You go in the goal, especially if you have a little bit. So you can run. So you'll be in the goal. You'll be in the goal, and that's what's happening there. So the guy with the ball is the captain automatically. And that is what's happening in United Workers' Party. Well, I don't think they should call it a party. That side. So the man bought his party or whoever is in charge, by whatever means he became leader. And then he's just picking his side. You. And that's what we have in there. And then you have a fellow who says, your chairman say, you have to be loyal to the man with the ball. That is the captain. So if you want to play on the side, you have to be loyal. You know, it's a side. Yes. I mean, people is a solution. I mean, this is what we have for the opposition, you know. A side. You know, you go march and you pick a side. So the man in the ball is the captain. And he just pick a side. No, but let's get back on track. What it is, we need to ask the opposition. What it is that you will be doing that Philip J. Pierre is not already doing? That is a fundamental question at stake there. Because Philip J. Pierre, we know his education policy. Now, I can talk about that for a long time. You understand?
Yes.
We know his policy. And he's already telegraphed for you. When the economy is doing better, 5 CXCs will be paid.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have children at secondary school, that's about $500 to $600 in your pocket, you know.
Yes.
You don't have to scrun to get.
Yes.
And I could tell you the hardships that some parents have had to pay CXCs, well, CSEC, for the children, you know. You understand? Sometimes you have to depend on donors. And I must have big up the Sir John Compton Memorial Foundation and Lady Janice Compton. I've told you already, Sir John has been doing more in depth for the young people of this country than this man did in his nearly 6 years in government.
Yes.
You understand? So now Lady Janice will have to figure out how else, and the directors of the Sir John Compton Memorial Foundation, a big thank you on behalf of the children. To, you know, you could call me, I can give you, you know, we can discuss, I can tell you how you could, because schools have needs. But they have been doing that for years. And Lady Janice is so nice, eh? She knows the time, and if she doesn't get the call from you, Mr. Falno, it's that time, you know. How many are we doing? And I tell her, we'll have 6.
Give me 1 second,
yes.
Minister.
The minister is on the line.
Jean-Baptiste has told me he's been trying to call, but he's been trying to call us on the old number. And we got to take this off there, because it's still showing the old number.
Right.
So I message him that it's 487-9849, right? So if a call comes, it's most likely Minister Moses Jean-Baptiste who will be calling us. Let's take it. If we can't get him on there, I've told him that he can use my phone. Okay, so let's brace that with him. Go ahead. Yeah.
So what it is that we know what the policy is on. CARICOM, well, the foreign policy, and you know, Mr. Alva Baptiste, doing fine. We have our CARICOM brothers strengthening CARICOM.
Yes.
Trying to think of ways of, you know, to make things better. So are you going to come back and then you're going to try to break it up? Because you are actively trying to break it up, you know. You're actually making statements to that effect, you know. CARICOM is a waste of time, etc., because you alone know, you know everything.
Because he has no sense of what George Adam would say, a sense of historicity, you know. He has not been following, he's not familiar with, he's not schooled in the whole history and in the evolution, even of St. Lucia, much less of the Caribbean.
Precisely.
You know, the history of CARICOM and how it evolved.
The man did not even know what the resort was before election.
The common market and all of that.
South. A man that didn't know where the resort you vote. Anyway, so what it is that you'll be doing? We know the health. Yes, we have little problems in health, and the minister will call. But it did not start on the 26th of July, 2021. These problems were there. Freshman and Philip, the Prime Minister is now trying to address everything. Very soon, St. Jude will be open. You understand? Things will fall into place. Mr. Pierre is correcting the wrongs, righting the wrongs, paying the debts, trying to move. Yes, and some people, you have your right to resign. Nobody's going to knock you for that if you have greener pastures, etc. But there are those who stick with it. That's must be the minister. So they will defer to him.
Yes. Tell me when you patch him through. Hi, good afternoon. The Real Issues, you're on the air.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yes, I always listen to you.
Hello, who's this?
I always listen to you, Shelton.
Oh, that's
and I just wanted to make a point.
Can I ask you to let us postpone your call, because we're expecting an important call from Minister Moses Jean-Baptiste. So
I just wanted to indicate
Yes.
that I was writing my memoirs,
Mm.
and I just finished writing about what your co-host
hold on.
said about the Marshall grounds and the thing. What it was called challenge.
I understand, but we're taking a call now from Minister Moses Jean-Baptiste.
That's all.
Even if I have to call you back, I'll call you back. Yeah. Yes. Minister Jean-Baptiste, Minister of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, elected MP for the very, very significant constituency of Vieux-Fort North. Good afternoon to you. Welcome once again, sir, to The Real Issues.
Yes, good afternoon, Shelton, and good afternoon to Mr. Fenelon.
Good afternoon, comrade.
Good afternoon to listeners in St. Lucia and on the internet. And I'm very happy to be on the show. Even though today I may not be very long, but I think it's very important to respond to a number of concerns. Many people have called me to indicate that over the last few days, especially last week, this week, last night, there are a number of concerns in relation to the statements that have been made by a number of people in relation to healthcare in this country. In particular, the Owen King E Hospital, Millennium Heights Medical Complex, the Jude Hospital, some of our health facilities, and also generally healthcare in the country. I think it's very, very important. I mean, people are concerned that some of the statements that are being made need to be responded to. And I want to say a few things. First of all, this government will continue to work, and we are working every single day to fix many of the systemic problems that have been in our healthcare system for decades and decades and decades. But in particular, we continue to work to fix the disaster that the United Workers' Party left in the healthcare system for over 5 years. I am the first, every time I speak, to say, I'll be the first to continue to say that there are problems in the healthcare system in St. Lucia. There are problems with procurement. There are problems with a number of areas in the healthcare system. But I want to also say that there are certainly and very clearly actions that this government have taken. We have taken actions to ensure that we fix some of the long-standing problems, but also that we respond to emergencies and we respond to deficiencies when they arise and when they have been made clear to us by medical professionals and by other professionals who work in the healthcare system. I want to say that the Owen King EU hospital situation was brought about by the inadequate and improper transition from the Victoria Hospital to the Owen King EU Hospital. The government of St. Lucia at the time, the United Workers' Party government, chose to hire a private company, Cayman City, more popularly known as that, to do a consultancy for over $20 million in 2 years, instead of funding the hospital adequately. The hospital was left there from 2016 to 2020 without the proper maintenance, without the proper care, and the United Workers' Party government did not transition Victoria Hospital into the Owen King EU Hospital, even though there were plans on a transitioning team led by Dr. King, Dr. Stephen King. The United Workers' Party abandoned that. So there are consequences for those kinds of actions. So the Owen King EU Hospital or the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, the transition to the Owen King EU Hospital or the Millennium Heights Medical Complex was improper. It was not done properly. It was the hospital was moved because of COVID in March of 2020. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the UWP government was forced to move Victoria into the Owen King EU Hospital, and the Millennium Heights Medical Complex board and so on was put together. So they had no plans, they had no forward moving plans to action the transition of the Owen King, the Victoria Hospital to the Owen King EU Hospital. And therefore there was no proper funding of that hospital. We came came into government in July of 2021 in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And from the time we came into government, we increased resources to the Owen King E Hospital, to the Millennium Heights Medical Complex. Because don't forget, it's not just the Owen King E Hospital. It is the Mental Wellness Center, Turning Point, and so on. So it's a whole complex. We increased the funding, and every single budget year, the Prime Minister increased the funding to the Owen King E Hospital. While we have been working with the board on the proper transitioning of the hospital, putting structures in place, ensuring that the relationship between the staff and the board and the programs, those things have not gone perfectly. A number of things have happened which needed fixing, and therefore the government continued to work with the hospital to ensure that we put things in place. The government has said that yes, there are problems with the supplies and problems with the processes, the procurement processes and so on. And the government, when the medical professionals raised those as very serious problems, the government came in and injected money into the system so that some of those problems can be cured. We have the situation with some of the medical professionals choosing to go to other opportunities outside of the hospital, and I want to assure the public that the board and the government will ensure that we get the medical professionals who have left, their skills, very important, but we get other professionals who are interested to work at the hospital. I also want to say that since the government took the action and the Prime Minister took the action of pumping $11 million into the hospital and another $5 million for the procurement of supplies and pharmaceuticals, that either today or sometime this week, the first container of new supplies will be cleared at the customs. We were told today, but I will just to give 1 or 2 days, let us say this week, medical supplies will be cleared. So the government is taking action to ensure that we shore up the system both at the Millennium Heights Medical Complex and the general health system. There are issues, but our approach as a government is to face those issues and deal with the issues squarely. The other thing I want to raise, the individuals have called me about the pressures on the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, meaning the Owen King EU Hospital. And this government has started work at the Victoria Hospital, and anybody who goes to the Victoria Hospital will see the evidence of the work. We have started work there. We have refurbished a part of the hospital which the Millennium Heights Medical Complex is using as a secondary care unit. We have almost completed the Cuban Eye Clinic Center, a very new center, newly refurbished. We did work on the roof, on all of the rooms, repainting and everything. We have purchased new equipment for the Cuban eye care professionals, and very soon, within a month or so, we are hoping, a month to 6 weeks, we are hoping that we can reopen the service at the Victoria Hospital. So we have a newly refurbished area for the Cuban Eye Care Clinic. We are in the final stages of procurement for the refurbishment of the Dolto building, which will house the Castries Wellness Center. So we are going to move the Castries Wellness Center from the city center to the Victoria Hospital. We are going to refurbish a part where the emergency section was at Victoria for an urgent care center. The pressure on OKEU will be reduced when we've done that. The space at OKEU, again, I want to say to the public, the United Workers' Party did not build the fifth wing of the OKEU hospital. The OKEU hospital has less space, bed space, than the old Victoria Hospital. And therefore, we have taken a decision, a policy decision, and we are already exploring various options of building the fifth wing of the OKEU hospital. This is our intention, and we are actioning that. We had a meeting with the senior doctors, with the Prime Minister, and they have suggested certain rearrangements which we can do within the OKE hospital to make some space. So we'll have to build a new structure on the outside and then move some departments, just some rearranging, so that we can have additional beds at the OKE hospital. All of those discussions have taken place, both with the cabinet, the Prime Minister, the Medical and Dental Association, the senior doctors at the Owen King E Hospital, and we have had a number of meetings with them. We have agreed with them on several areas, and we are moving ahead to make those changes. I also want to say to you, Shelton, and to the public, that the Grosile Polyclinic, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The Grosile Polyclinic, the intention is to move to increasing the hours at the Grosile Polyclinic and also move into a 24-hour facility. I want to again remind the public that the United Workers' Party spent 5 years, more than 5 years in office, and there was no ambulance service at the Grosile Polyclinic. When we came into government, we caused there to be ambulance services. We imported an ambulance, it had some issues, but we continue to have ambulance services for the Grosile Polyclinic. So when UWP talks about healthcare, a place like Grosile, which is the largest population center in the country, Shelton, UWP, they spent 5 years there, okay, and there was no ambulance service emanating from the Grosile Polyclinic. Can you imagine that? So we are right now procuring services to build a unit for the staff, the doctors and the nurses and the professionals, so that we can house them at the Grosile Polyclinic, and we are going to increase the staff complement and so on, so that we can have a 24-hour facility. This polyclinic, as you may know, will be named after Dr. Martin Didier, and the government did make that pronouncement. So we are improving the infrastructure at the Grosile Polyclinic before we have the naming ceremony and that kind of thing. So that is already happening, that is on the way. We are procuring the services for that. I think also there have been concern about the health and security levy. Prime Minister has said it, I'm going to repeat, that the health and security levy at best may raise about $35 million. To run the OKE hospital alone, you need close to between $95 and $100 million. To run the St. Jude Hospital, you possibly need maybe between $47 to $50 million. Okay? Now, the health and security levy is not adequate to do that. The government is currently in discussions. We've had several discussions with the World Bank. We are also being assisted by a private consultancy of JIPA, which helping us with the healthcare financing policy, because we don't want to do that like UWP. UWP promised the people of St. Lucia insurance. Everybody will get $75,000 or $80,000 health insurance. They never had any health insurance for the people. We promised the people we are going to introduce universal health coverage, and we did say that we know you cannot just introduce universal health coverage go low, and you cannot just do it. You need systems, you need the financing, and we have introduced it in a phased way. We have our maternal and childcare services where pregnant ladies pay no cost. We have new services in cervical cancer diagnosis. We are coming next month with prostate cancer diagnosis and so on. The United Workers' Party cannot show what additional services that they did for universal health coverage. They are simply talking about health insurance, which they did not do. Many things they are talking about, oh, if we were there, we would do. This is what we would do. But the Labour Party government in healthcare is showing what we are doing. And I keep saying to you, Shelton, and to the public, that we are not where we want to be yet. There are issues. There are issues with the healthcare system. And the promise that we have made and the actions that we are showing is that where those issues are, we are dealing with them. We are dealing with them. Some of them are being addressed very quickly. Others are taking a little more time to be addressed. I want to say to you also, Shelton, that healthcare services around the country, the health centers, we've had a few problems, not only now, but we've had a few problems mold and the condition of some of the healthcare centers, the health and wellness centers, what we call health centers around the country. We had some issues at Babuno, and of course the staff, they have complained about it, and in some cases with the union, they say, listen, we cannot continue to work under these conditions. And in the 35 health and wellness centers around St. Lucia, we are going around with our maintenance team to identify the issues and to one by one, two by two, to try to see how we can adjust. If you notice over the last few months, Shelton, we have had several notices to the public. This wellness center will be closed for 3 days. This other one will be closed for 2 days because of mold. And therefore we are going around where there are issues, in some cases some emergencies, and we are dealing with them. At Babuno, for example, there's a contractor there who's doing deep cleaning. They have to scrape the walls, repaint the walls. In Viewfort, we have a problem at the Viewfort Wellness Center where there's an area where water is sipping and we have an issue with mold. We have closed that wellness center for a few days, and a contractor is in there doing the deep cleaning and so on. So that is going on at a number of wellness centers. It is very clear that a lot of the issues have developed over many, many years. As Minister for Health, I cannot come in the media and complain that the United Workers' Party, certain wellness centers left doors and chairs, rusty chairs for the doctors and so on for years. What we are doing, we are going around identifying the problems and fixing those problems. From time to time, I'll come out in the media and explain those things. The last thing I want to speak about, because I know you have a show to do. The last thing I want to talk about, 2 things. One has to do with universal health coverage and the sustainable financing. As I said, we are working on a model, and we found no model which was left by the last government. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre is not a prime minister who just comes in and finds things and break them down like UWP broke down buildings at St. Jude. If we found a program that was credible, a program that started and so on, there is no way that this minister or the prime minister would just discontinue it. We felt that the $25 million, the $22 million to the Cayman City Group, we felt that we could not continue that just for 2 years. We'd have had to sign another contract to advance the services for $20-something million. So there was no insurance plan, there was no insurance, nothing. The UWP did not start or any program to give insurance to the people of St. Lucia. If they did, they should bring the evidence and show which patients in St. Lucia had received the insurance coverage that they're talking about. The health financing is a very serious issue. It's an issue you cannot take lightly and just simply put a financing policy if it's not going to have sustainability. So we are working with several professionals, and the Prime Minister will make an announcement in due course about the health financing. I want to say also to you that many of our people, and rightly so, are very concerned about the waiting time at the emergency rooms, both at St. Jude Hospital, at O.M. King EO Hospital, and so on. And we are working with the professionals to see how best we can, number one, change the systems, number two, get additional staff, but also to get additional space. Because what we are experiencing now is also very serious, because both hospitals, both St. Jude Hospital and Millennium Heights Medical Complex, they are experiencing a drastic increase in emergency room calls, and most of them, as the doctors report, as a result of complication of NCDs, stroke, diabetes, hypertension. And this is different to 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago. So we have a very big problem while we are dealing with the issues at the hospitals and so on, trying to fix structural issues and systemic issues. We have a big problem nationally with our health, and that is causing the pressure on the real health crisis that we're talking about is really that the pressure that's been put on the hospitals and on the health services. A lot of that pressure is coming from lifestyle diseases, NCDs, people not doing what the doctors advise enough, and so on. But yes, there are issues that must be fixed, at the hospitals, and we are continuing. The St. Jude Hospital, we have spoken about it before. We are rapidly finishing the rehabilitation of the St. Jude Hospital, and the United Workers' Party, the record on the St. Jude Hospital is there, very clear for all to see. And even while we are doing this, the horrible conditions that we found at the stadium, and still the conditions are not right. There is a stadium, it should not be a hospital in the first place. Even with that, we have spent $1 million the year before, $1.something million now to make the situation better, add some more rooms and so on, because it's a 50-room facility now, add some more rooms to take it up to possibly 66 rooms, even while we rehabilitate the St. Jude Hospital. So there are a number of initiatives. I want to thank the staff, the permanent secretary, and all the staff. I know everyone is under tremendous pressure, but I want to tell the staff, Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, that we are committed to doing this job, to fixing this problem. We have about 45 to $50 million in payables. That's the Ministry of Health and the OPEU and so on, and St. Jude Hospital. Payables meaning people we owe, and not just as Labour Party coming to office. I'm talking about decades. I'm not going to list what UWP and what SLP and so on. Our commitment, Honorable Philip JP's commitment, Shelton, is to fix it. And that's what we're doing. Very soon you will hear an announcement by the Prime Minister on how he's going to raise the $50 million, and we are going to pay everybody we owe. We have people we owe from way back when, from way back when. We owe the hospital in Martinique. We owe suppliers from overseas from way back when, and that's choking the procurement process for medication and so on. But in all of that, there's a lot of good news, Shelton. Since coming into office in 2021, we are serving an additional, we were serving 2,100 people with medication for diabetes. Now we have added hypertension. And we are now serving over 9,000 St. Lucians who do not have to pay for the medication. Very good news. We are now expanding the services in St. Lucia Move, so that in every community you see an increase in the number of companies, private companies and other community groups getting into the wellness agenda. You see the actions of the nurses in the health centers, new programs coming on. We have ordered two pieces of equipment for breast cancer, okay, for mammography and so on. One will be at St. Jude, one will be in the north. And you hear about the new techniques in cervical cancer, and you hear about what we are trying to do with the hospitals. And yes, we have admitted that there are issues. There are problems to be solved. There's an issue with the medical professionals and how they feel and so on. And we're doing our very best to change that situation. We're doing our very best to change that situation. And there are new appointments that will be made at the Millennium Heights Medical Complex. So in the coming weeks, in the coming months, there are more announcements that will be made. But I want to assure the people of St. Lucia that the government of St. Lucia, the government led by Honorable Philip JPM, is doing what it has to do. Some of it we have to do in emergency situations because of the nature of healthcare. But others are systemic things, and we are doing what we have to do. And when healthcare professionals make suggestions, as they have done in meetings with the Prime Minister and in meetings with the Cabinet, they have made suggestions. For example, we are going to Parliament next week, and we are getting documents ready to expand VAT-free provisions for medical professionals who import specific equipment. We're going to extend the list next week, Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have all the information from the doctors have sent in their list and so on, and we are looking at it. And we are going to make all of the items on the list VAT-free, so that the medical professionals can bring in, not just for the hospitals, for private medical practice also. They can bring in equipment so that services can be more available throughout the country. So there are a number of initiatives, and yes, there are problems. Problems will flare up. There are problems that should have been solved years ago, and we are working to do the best to see how best we can raise the morale of our doctors, our nurses who are under tremendous pressure. But I want to tell you, Shelton, we are committed to doing this. And whenever there are questions to be answered, I am willing to provide these answers.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste. I wish you the very best in your endeavors to continue, upgrading, fixing, the healthcare system in St. Lucia. And like you say, at any time, feel free, don't be a stranger, to call here and to clarify any matters that you believe the public can benefit on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shelton. Thanks.
Okay. All right, we are due for a commercial break. I think we should take it. And then when we come back, Terry, I think today is a day where we won't be able to do
much,
and so on.
I have to come back.
Let's wrap up. Okay, thank you very much, Jaquan. Take it away for now.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there'll be a following week for cytology testing. We're also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs, such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with the real issues. We had a bit of an extended portion, and that was because we had the Minister for Health, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, on the line with us. I was trying to call back former government minister, Sir Calix George, to let him make the contribution that he was making, but we really wanted to give way to the Honorable Minister. I haven't been able to reach him. I was trying to call him direct from my phone. So, Sir Calix, if you're hearing and you wish to call and continue, you're welcome to do so. He's calling back right now for that matter. All right. Sir Calix, good afternoon to you, and you are on the line, on the air. Hello? Hi, Sir Calix, are you there?
I think it was
I think we lost that call. Let's see if I
But in the meantime, just let me say, Shelton,
yes,
following from the call from the Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, this morning on Facebook, one of the architects who worked on the OKE hospital, Mr. Mark Hennicat, I think my classmate, he wrote a piece, and I think I've circulated it, and those of you who have received it, you could circulate it to others, because Mark has put in perspective for us all what the Labour Party has done in healthcare, and I think it's very comprehensive. The Labour Party has been very concerned about health, and let me tell you, the problems in health did not start, as I said earlier, on the 26th of July 2021. There have been problems, and if you know the Philip JP administration and the cabinet of ministers, they are working to address this situation, as they have been addressing every other situation. They're doing it methodically, they're doing it rationally, they're doing it with a lot of common sense, and trust me, things may not be perfect, but things will iron out and level out, and we'll be able to get the kind of health care delivered to the people of St. Lucia that we deserve. So patience, yes, there are people trying to make political mileage. I'm saying that without any fear of contradiction. Political mileage, let them have their fun. The 15 minutes of fame, that's fine. Let the 15, just as Rijok and Ama, have your 15 minutes of fame. Yeah, but it come crashing down. So I believe this thing in health, the health situation, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre is aware of it. I know he's not very happy about it, but he will apply all the good principles and methods to address those situations, to bring a sense of normalcy and to deliver the kind of healthcare that we deserve. So patience, and let's rally with our Prime Minister and the Cabinet of Ministers. If you have received what I circulated from Mr. Mark Hennicat, circulate it. Let the people know what it is that we have been doing in healthcare. The government has, they have never slept or sat on the laurels. They have always been working, and you're seeing steps. So, in due course, yes, there's a little bump in the road. Yes, there'll be bumps in the road. There's a little bump, but that bump will be smoothened out very shortly, and then we will be back to normal. All right?
All right. Good afternoon to you, Owen Alcindor, who says, today we are not friends. Having been born August 30th, I'm a true Laros king. Someone else messages me to say, congratulations, Grandpa Shelton. Best wishes to you. Best wishes to you all on the new addition to the family. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Very handsome boy, I can tell you. How else can he be when he looks like his grandfather so much? I mean, it's not bad book. All right, let me see if I can get again. Someone says, greetings, Shelton. Admittedly, I have missed some of your shows. Not sure if you have addressed 44.5% duty on vitamin supplements. Very often they are not available here. When's healthcare? That's true. So many years ago, it's been so that any time you order supplements, that the duty, whatever you have to pay, comes to about 45%. Which is high, but I mean, it's not prescription medication, on which I don't think they charge anything. At the end of the day, we can make a case for everything to be, have a concession on it, have VAT removed on it, and so on. But then the government has got to. Vitamins are what you call optional. They are elective and so on. If they have already removed whatever tax, whatever duty, whatever VAT is on the basket of food items and so on, from which you're supposed to get, your not just the main things of your protein, etc., but you're supposed to get the micronutrients and the supplements. To actually go on the optional thing of the vitamins and so on, and to remove VAT on it, the question will be asked, where's the government getting the revenue to do all the things that it has to do, and we want it to do more in the country and so on. So, I understand your concern. I am a guy who always takes my vitamin supplements and so on. Not because I cannot do without them, but the way life was before, when I grew up, for example, as a little boy running around Denry and Monrepo, needing antioxidants and this and that was not necessary. I mean, we were right in the midst of all the mame and the kashima and the kubawi and you name it, the brata, the zabuiko and all the things, the mangoes and so on, you could get it. So there was never any question of nutritional deficiencies. You grew up in an area where the sea was nearby, and you had some of the guys you grew up with were natural outdoorsmen, that they could go in the mang and catch endless, Atkinson or whatever it was, the fish was, and so on. And so we were good at that time. Now, the kind of life that we live, the sedentary life, the driving life, the city life, the life of the supermarket and so on. Yeah, you go out, there things there, but you don't get all the range and variety of things that you used to get, all year round. If it end one, it's the other. So I believe because of that, we probably do need supplements, because that life is lost to us forever, perhaps forever, because the way we destroy the environment, I don't know if we can ever recapture the day when there was an endless supply and variety of different things. It may be, but so at the same time, put yourself in the place of the government, the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, and so on, and the need for revenue that is always so overpowering. Someone else wrote a message where they said the Cayman contract is what is messing up the government. I'm not happy with the way the government is not bringing it to the people.
Right, yes.
The government should talk about it. Everything the people complain, health. $1 million a month have to be paid to Cayman every month for 16 years for a job that could be done by Dr. King and his team. That million could be doing lots for the people. And I think a lot of people are of that view. They think the Philip JP administration is a little too gentle, too nice, too restrained in terms of.
I'm of that view too.
Yeah, they should be coming down like a ton of bricks on Alan Chastney and the same guy Joseph.
No, just the facts.
And what they did, which has put us in the bind that we are. But they have everything to complain about. However, what I can say, Honorable Philip J. and the others, including Richard Frederick, who many people believe because of the forceful way that he speaks, that he is this kind of, blower. That's not true. Richard Frederick is very concerned about decorum. There's a lot more he could be saying. Don't let his tone of voice fool you and so on. I believe they are concerned about the decorum of public office that they want to uphold, one, and they do not want to unnecessarily divide the people, a way about, like, is they do that and so on. I think this government wants to be inclusive. It understands that a lot of people supported the United Workers' Party and still support it and so on. And it's not that you're afraid to bring out things, but you do not want to create too much of an us versus them. Government is continuous. They see the responsibility they have as government. They have to heal and cure and correct and fix certain things that happened before, and they set about to correcting it. But like Terence Federloff says, I too feel sometimes they're being too nice.
Too nice. Sometimes you have to counterpunch. I mean, it's true you could absorb. If somebody referred to Ernest as Muhammad Ali, doing the Rupadoop. You know what I mean? Yes. Absorbing all this, the punches from the opposition until he made that national address. Quite true, you understand? So sometimes you have to counterpunch. You cannot just be absorbing, taking it and stuff. Because people eventually will believe, but sometimes you have to put out the facts. Let us know what is happening, without giving, you're not stepping on the special prosecutors stuff. But you have to at least sometimes come out and defend yourself, because you cannot always allow people to just, the Prime Minister, we will defend him because we're coming back. I will show you how retarded the Prime Minister is. You understand? Put that in inverted commas. This guy is Badventist guy who believes that he can say and do whatever he wants.
As a matter of fact, somebody who is a pastor, Christian minister, has sent me a message saying that man defiles the so-called Christian faith he pretends to be part of. He's no Christian.
That's right.
He and his opposing group offer nothing to the country in terms of policies, ideas for the good of the country. Trump, he and his cohorts are calling down only trouble, disorder, disruption, etc. on the small island. Right. Nothing to offer thinking, discerning St. Lucians, young or older. Disgraceful, unclean, questionable character, shameful.
That's right.
Philip Pierce stands head and shoulders above him and his like.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, people have to understand, you cannot come like a schizophrenic, like a bipolar, split personality person who can be one person on the pulpit and a different person on the platform.
It's one morality.
You have only one life.
Oh, that's right.
The Christian life especially is one life. You come with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can't come on a political platform and saying statements like, there is no way God could have chosen this person. What are you? You are God's deputy, you are God's advocate, you are God's spokesman and so on.
He's taking over from Sarah Flood.
Exactly. This kind of thing. And I don't know. I'm not going to go as far as to say who's not a Christian. All I will say is those words, they do not represent, Christian thinking, belief, and practice. And a person who does that is theologically very unsound. The theology is totally unsound in that kind of thing. And not only that too, I would be very concerned when somebody makes those kind of statements while holding the position of some kind of minister or whatever. That person is dividing that church that he's a part of. If the members of the church hearken unto that person, between what he's saying and the theology of the church, this person is causing division. Now, as to whether the church, the particular congregation he believes in, they care about it, I don't know. Maybe there are things that they care about more. But to be making those kinds of statements,
maybe the filthy looker.
Yeah, but not only that, Philip JP has Seventh-day Adventists who support him.
Yeah,
you understand?
a lot.
You have a lot of Seventh-day Adventists support you. You have those who support Joachim and they don't want to hear a word about you.
Yeah.
But what you want to make sure are the fundamentals of the faith are respected and that you do not go causing division. I mean, the Apostle Paul in particular spoke a lot about that there should not be divisions among you when we come together, X, Y, Z, and ABC, and so on and so forth. And when somebody goes on making it a point, making it, an actual personal determination that it is to attack and denigrate and disparage other people, you cannot be a unifying figure.
That's right. So anyway, we'll tell the Prime Minister, we will defend him.
Yeah. Anyway,
we'll be back to explain and to show how retarded he is, and the people will decide for themselves, because this was so déclassé, this was so vulgar and vile and out of place. But we will take that one another time.
Yes.
All right.
Because the time is upon us.
Yes.
1:59 it says. We're sorry, people. We couldn't really open the phone lines today. We really wanted to allow the Honorable Minister to speak. When people come talking as if all the problems of OKE once in Jude, they began on the 26th of July, 2021.
That's when life began.
I think this is something that needs to be debunked. The bad decisions that were taken, the spraying of our money all over to help City Cayman and all kinds of things. Our money, once you white, once you foreign, once you this, once you Ernst & Young, once you help City Cayman, no amount of money is too much to throw after. You throw in good money after bad, the wastefulness. And when you see the pattern of that spending, you cannot help but say that there was a racist motivation behind it. Now they're trying to flip it, and say, oh, this government is racist. But let me tell you this kind of money that was spent on that guy who was given $7+ million to spend, for vaccines that we never got and we're not getting the refund. When you see the money given to Lockerbie, to put plastic grass on playing fields. When you see the money given to Ernst & Young to do a budget that our public servants were doing for donkey years under the legendary, John Compton and so on. When you see all those kind of things, before that it was Heppel, before that it was paying American Airlines to fly empty planes to St. Lucia just because you want to be. When you see the money spent at one hotel in England for a night stay at almost 8,500 EC dollars a night. When you see those kinds of things, you cannot help but say that our money was being spent, food taken out of our mouths so people could show off before white people, foreign people that they more identify with, that there was a racist motivation behind it. That's all the time we have on the real issues today. Shelton Daniel on behalf of Terry Fennell signing out.
2024 were Double Daily Grand 9-17 19 21. Big 4 5 5 2 9. Big 4 Multi-X 2X. Pick 2 3 4. Pick 2 Multi-X 2X. One off 6 6 2. Lucky 3 5 9 3. Lucky 3 Multi-X FP.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.